Hello, Dr. Twine. Thank you for your time this evening. Today, I am presenting my interpersonal communication project for Liberty University's course HSCO 508. My name is Joanne Abrahams, and today is October 14th of 2020. Interpersonal communication is a way that people communicate and build relationships. It is how exchanges of information occurs between two or more people. It is about being intentional with both your words and nonverbal communication cues. Today, we will discuss my personal behavioral blends. I have an IS for my social blend and a CIS for my personal blend. The communication barriers I have, such as significant hearing loss, my goal to build stronger communication bonds within my close circle of friends and expanding that into my daily communication life, and how I plan to implement strategies I learned through this course, such as reflection and the listener card, to become a more empathetic listener. As I mentioned, in my social blends, I am an IS, which means people expect me to be both inspirational and submissive. I can be a leader, but yet I can also be a follower. I am very much a people or relationship-oriented person. I find that relationships are what create success more than actual tasks. In my personal blend, I am a CIS, which means I have good people skills. I can be quite reserved and focused, or I can be the life of the party, bringing fun, excitement, laughter. My emotions are a roller coaster, as I tend to bottle up my feelings until I can no longer hold them anymore and I ultimately explode. As a middle child, I often felt like the lost person, the hidden person, the one that's not seen or not supposed to be seen or heard. This created the part of my identity where I would do what I could to get attention when I felt alone or like I needed it. But most of the time, I was reserved and secluded, as I felt my parents had other children who needed more than I did at the time. I also have a learning disability, and many times I felt like if I brought attention to myself, others might see me less than my peers, or my peers would see me less than they were. So to compensate for my learning disability, my lack of self-confidence, and lack of self-worth at the time, I would work on my athletic skills and my athletic abilities. I played every sports team imaginable, from softball to soccer to basketball, track. I even played contact women's football. It was my relationship with my teammates that caused me to have a deep-rooted belief that success comes from relationships rather than tasks. Within the sports teams, I was dependent on others to do their job, and they were dependent on me to do mine in order for us to meet the common goal, which was to win whatever the sporting event was. Without that relationship bond, it doesn't matter who got what done. It all had to be accomplished. My biggest communication barrier is my significant hearing loss. I have 75% loss in my left ear and 60% loss on my right. I have become dependent upon lip reading in order to try and compensate for my continuous apologies, requiring individuals to repeat themselves over and over again. I get frustrated, and so do they. With COVID, I'm struggling even more with my interpersonal communications, as I no longer have access to facial reactions or lip reading to help aid in my lack of hearing. I am working on getting hearing aids, however, due to the COVID shutdown, those have been put on hold. The hearing loss has created major conflicts with those I love and care about. I have misunderstood, misheard, or misinterpreted what has been conveyed to me. Oftentimes, I think I hear one thing only to find out it was something else. Just today, my husband and I had a major disagreement because I thought he told me he spent $32 while he was out, only to see on the bank account it was actually $302. My initial reaction was anger. I felt betrayed and lied to, and my responses reflected that. Only to find out that what I heard was not what he actually said. My daughter reassured me as she was in the room that he actually told me the correct amount. The blame was on me, but I put it on him. My biggest goal is to become a more empathetic listener. I want to assure those whom I'm having communication with that I not only heard, but understand what they are saying. I plan to implement both the listener card as well as becoming better at reflecting what is being said to me when the other individual is speaking. I want those I'm in communication with to know that I not only know and understand the words that they stated, but I also can see or feel the emotions that they are trying to convey through communication. I also feel this would help in my significant hearing loss to reflect and let them know and understand that I actually heard accurately. By implementing the listener card, I will be able to respond in a more effective manner, withholding accusatory responses, like the one to my husband today, judgments, or attacking, also what I did to my husband today, or labeling. I will choose my words and response formations more wisely. Words can hurt. They can also create an environment of negative reactions. Learning to phrase my thoughts in a productive and positive manner will only build stronger relationship bonds and create positive solutions. I will also use a listener card to assign ownership to the proper person within the conversation. Other people's problems cannot become my solutions. My plan is to create a better interpersonal communication through active listening, both verbal and nonverbal cues. I plan to become more empathetic listener by reflecting and implementing the listener card. Growing up as a middle child has helped to develop my communication identity and form the communication blends I hold. But as I learn and grow through courses like this, I hope to more effectively communicate with others without responding or creating a negative reaction through my response and words. I will leave you with this final thought from James 1:19. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. By choosing my words and communication cues intentionally, I can better build relationships with positive solutions. Thank you again for your time. Have a blessed day.